We all dream of a passive income, earning money while we sleep, or whilst relaxing on the beach, sipping an umbrella drink. But the truth is, it's a jungle out there, and we have to compete to even stay still. Spammers, newbies, Google algorithm changes in state laws. It can be a nightmare. So, in the busy lifestyles that we all lead, we want to be sure that we are investing our precious time in something with a great chance of working. I'm sure you have tried many push-button income schemes. You may have even invested money in high-class courses costing over $1,500 each, only to still be waiting for the money train to stop by. So enter Content Packs, the done-for-you components that are uniqueified especially to you. All you need to do is be magazine editor and piece them together. Better yet, we help you to monetize your site with resale rights to a highly targeted product, and you keep 100% of the profits. And there's more. We include a video that you can use to promote or as content. And there's more. We include social back-scratching so you can get your content indexed and noticed in social circles. And there's more. We have training options if there is anything you are unsure of. Plus, we have optional bumper traffic campaigns you can add if you ever feel the need for a leg up. Even better, instead of having to pay over $2,000 per month per industry to create all of this yourself, we charge you less than $97 per month. In fact, get in as an early bird and you could lock in your monthly rate for as little as $39 per month. Okay, so I want to welcome you to a very, very special pre-launch invite to Content Packs. So the basic idea of Content Packs is it's kind of a solution to the problem of having to do very intense authority site stuff, and the fact that automated content and scraping and stuff like that doesn't tend to work anymore. So somewhere in between there needs to be a happy medium where you can get all the freshness of new content that you need, but without having to go through all the pain of creating it yourself. Now, we can only do this in selected industries, kind of one niche at a time, and in this pre-launch state we're only going to do one industry, and that one industry is going to be basically health, beauty and fitness. So if you've got any kind of generic properties in that niche, health, fitness and beauty, then this should have content in it that you will like and use and profit from. So the basic idea is that normally you might have to pay up to well over $2,000 to create this content yourself. Sorry, I just had to cough there. So it might cost you over $2,000 to create this content yourself. So the idea is that by working as a small cooperative, maximum of 250 members, certainly in this phase anyway, that we can all pull together, and basically the money is what's the correct word, is pulled to be able to achieve this. But it's not that we all get the same content, because it's uniqueified so that everyone's version is different. Now that's uniqueified is completely different to spinning, and it's different to a super spun or anything like that, and it's not to do with trickery of adding JavaScript characters or something in the middle of the text, which isn't going to fool Google for long. This is actually uniqueified by using the bit of software that I give you, which basically personalizes the specially formatted articles that we supply. The second thing is the video content is we supply that as components, so that you render it yourself, and obviously when you render it yourself you can add things, change the timing, change the order, whatever. But the main reason that we do that is because places like YouTube, they do a checksum on the video files. So if we all gave you the same video file, it would think they were all the same video, because they would be. But by rendering the video components yourself, so we give you all of the bits you need, but by rendering the components yourself in something like the free Microsoft video program, or if you're in the Apple Mac iMovie, and if you just render it yourself, then basically your version is unique, and if you want to do anything extra to it, that you can. Anyway, this is the sales letter. As I say, this is the pre-launch. It's an early bird pricing situation, and as I say, in the pre-launch we're only going to do one industry. The full launch should be on April the 5th, when we're hoping to ramp it up to 2 or 3 industries, but because of the sheer amount of work and organisation that it involves, we can't do that immediately until we've got it streamlined and making sure everything's going the way it's supposed to. So it is a early bird pre-launch. So what actually is it you get in Content Packs? Well, first off is it's delivered on the 25th of the month, so your first pack will not be until the end of January here. So you won't get it today. You'll get the first pack on the 25th of January, and then they'll come on the 25th of every month after that. So what you get on that day is you get 25 articles, which will go through the personalizer software. So as I say, the personalizer software makes sure that what you get is unique to you, and it's better than spinning, and it will be in English. It won't be gobbledygook. It doesn't have strange characters in it, etc. The article lengths will vary, which again is a natural kind of thing to do. They would not always be exactly 400 words if a real human was writing it, which a real human is. So somewhere between 400 and 700 words, because that's the kind of optimum size for an article. The second thing you get, which is pretty unique, is that you get the resale rights to a product. Now what that product is going to vary. It's obviously going to be in the niche. So it could be something as simple as a PDF ebook, but it could also be software. So it might be a calculator or a utility or something like that. Or it might be a video course, so it might be a series of videos. It might be some audios for podcasts, or whatever else is applicable at the time. So you get resale rights to that, which means that you can keep 100% of the profit. We like to stick to a minimum price so that the value for everyone is kept up, but basically you can rename it, and normally you'll be able to restyle it depending on what it is. Like change the backdrop of the software, or with the logo on, or change the cover of the PDF, that kind of stuff. So you can rebrand it and personalize it. You could add your own links in if that's applicable, to affiliate links to something else or whatever, or it's certainly linked back to your to your site, so you can co-brand whatever the product is in that way, and we'll give you the tools to to do that. Another thing we do is we give you section graphics, and that's probably a new concept to you, but it's basically art that you can add to your blog to make it look a bit more like a magazine. So sometimes they might be badges to get them to opt in. They might be art of things that would augment an article or something like that. It might be an actual section header. And in the very first month, they're going to be 5 header masks, so you can create a blog and add one of the header masks to it to make it look on topic. The other thing we do, as I've already hinted, is we give you the components for a video. So basically we give you everything that's needed. It will include usually some live footage as well. It's not just screen cams. Obviously the screen cam will be an element of it because they're good for getting the points across, but it will include some footage. It will include voiceover with a human voice, not computer generated, anything like that. It won't be a silent movie, it won't be music only, it won't be an Animoto slideshow. Sometimes we might use a Animoto section in it, but it won't only be an Animoto won't only be an Animoto video. It will actually be a video with a purpose to do with the content or to do with the product that we that we're selling that month in the resale rights that we're giving you. Or it might be a bit of pre-sale, or it might just be something that promotes the the concept of the niche that you're doing, generally, like a how-to or one of the problems with, and then you'll change the link when you render the video to come back to your website for the other tips, which will be in some of the other articles that we're giving you. So that's that. Obviously, just having a site isn't going to do anything. So we also give you 30 social back scratching points at trafficvision.com. So trafficvision.com is another site that I own that basically allows you to get YouTube views, Facebook likes, Twitter follows, or Google Plus likes, whatever they call their things, or just traffic exchange, which we explain why that's useful on the inside. So basically you get a guaranteed 30 kind of human backlinks. These aren't links created or votes created by robots or anything like that. These are created from quality accounts, which will link to your to whatever it is that you're putting into your campaign. You can spread them out as you want. If you want to buy more, you can buy more credits. If you want to earn credits, you can earn credits just by basically just by web surfing, and liking people and that kind of stuff. But 30 is going to give you a good head start to to make sure that your content is seen and gets indexed pretty quickly, basically. And then the last thing in the bundle is the long tail keyword research. So usually the keyword list is actually quite massive, but let's say it's 2,000 plus keywords, and these are long tail keywords, so they wouldn't be keywords you would use as a domain name or something like that, but you would use them in tags, in extra content, as ideas for things, in your backlinking promotions, in subheadings of articles that you add yourself, whatever. So they're useful things to to get a foothold in the niche, with low competition phrases that nobody else is probably getting, and you're going to get some good traffic from that as you build them up over time. Also there might be some gems in there which are not quite as long tail, so it's your choice. You just go through it and pick the ones you think are going to work for you. Now, we probably should charge about $167 a month for this. I know that sounds like a lot, but when I take you through the value of it, you'll understand why it should be that much. But at the moment, there's a special price. Now, depending when you come in, the price is going to go up. It's going to go up $1 every day until we hit our capacity there. But at this exact moment, if you're one of the early birds on day one, and then it's only £39 per month, and that's a lock-in rate, so you'll never pay more than that monthly, as long as while you stay a member. We're limiting it to 250 slots, certainly in Q1 to 2012, to make sure that everyone gets the maximum benefit from the content. If we do go above that membership level, then we will add different content sets. So again, the spread is still only over 250 members. Again, remember, all the content is personalized. Remember that you're rendering the video yourself, Remembering you can change the name of your product, the resale rights product, and rebrand it and whatever to make it unique to you. So basically it is unique to you. The only thing that's in common is that we're all doing the same industries, but an industry should be big enough to do that. And then when you add to that, your own SEO abilities and your own promotional abilities, then in the fact that you're going for different keywords to everyone else, there's 2,000 long tail keywords that you can get at. If you want to do any of your own social promotions, then you can use the long tail keywords in that, and again they're most likely going to be a different set of keywords to what everyone else is using. So basically it's unique to you amongst the 250 people. So obviously the content is personal use only. You're not allowed to resell it on. It's not PLR. I use the word PLR just so that everyone understands what's going on. People think that they tend to need to, to get PLR content to populate their blogs, because then they get the rights to use it. So we're giving you personal use rights so that you get to use it, plus the fact that it's personalised with the software, so that it is actually unique to you, and it's not just spun or anything like that. It actually is unique to you. You'll see how that works on the inside. Anyway, buy button, hopefully you know how that works. You click it and buy. There's no refunds on this, I just want to tell you that, unless it's my fault for some reason, because the money is outgoing, it's pre-consumed. You've got the content, I can't stop you using it once you've downloaded it, and I'm having to pay outwards for it. There's expenses in it, so the money's already left the building, as I phrase it somewhere. Okay, so that's it. So I suppose we should just explain why why this is important and where it fits in. So I'm not going to kid you. The best way of earning a large income is still doing authority sites, and having your own product, and and all of that kind of stuff takes time and money and dedication and consistency in doing it. And it's still a gamble, because you can't guarantee it's going to work, but that's the best way of doing it. But even if you do that, you do need a second ring, kind of satellite ring or a feeder ring or whatever you want, to catch the rest of the traffic that you don't normally get, to keep you an authority or to make you an authority, and to make sure that you're encompassing all the other things that you should be doing, but without diluting your money site, your authority site, by adding spam or scrape content, or articles that are off topic, that shouldn't be there, that just don't kind of fit into the logical order of what's going on. They're all things that would dilute your authority. So you have other sites, these satellite sites or feeder sites or VRE, virtual real estate, depends what you want to call them, which will do all this other catching for you, and basically they're kind of like your private blog ring, if you like. You have these sites and you control them, and basically they can point back to you, your money site, or assets of your money site, like your video channel or whatever, however you want to play it, and you get backlinks, from that, in that way. You get SEO in that way, and you're getting actual human traffic in that way. Plus you're getting all the information, all the data from those satellite sites. If there are extra keywords you should be doing, if there's extra topics people are interested in, you'll know. If there are other affiliate products or whatever you put on these satellite sites, then you'll know what's selling, and whether you should be doing your own product for that, or creating your own new authority site in that niche. So there are ways of testing and ways of maintaining and ways of getting your market share. So they're important things, and the problem is if you don't do them, then unfortunately, because of the competition, and because people will come along and steal your niche when you're successful, we need these VRE sites to kind of keep our edge, to make sure that we're on top of what we're doing. And if you like, it is a kind of way of competing with yourself, but the point is that, when you compete with yourself, you're the one who wins whichever way it goes. So rather than just leaving it open for everyone else to do it, if you have say 3 sites in the same niche, selling the same thing, then you've tripled your chances of everything, of being found, of making a sale, of lowering your competition, and of getting more data and more research, excuse me, and more traffic, to what you're doing, but all without endangering your money site, okay, and without diluting your money site and losing the the profit and the income that you've already achieved. So why do these satellite sites work? Well, the first thing is they're not auto content, they're not scraped, and they're not gibberish. They're all highly on target. They're all things that people actually want to read and know, because when we get the articles written, that's what we commission them to be done. So whenever fresh content goes out, that's what search engines have to pick up. If you think of Google, it has an obligation to make sure that it's reporting on the latest stuff. The authority sites may be the most reliable answer, but it's got an obligation to actually get the new stuff in, and there's always a little burst when you put new stuff up. Now the question of how long that initial burst lasts depends on how good your site is and whether they think you're a spamming, scraping, tricking auto site, or whether you're actually human. And one of the big things for that is consistency. So by giving you 25 articles a month, that's almost one every day. So you're getting, you're obviously a serious player. They're long articles, they're well-written articles, they're unique to you, they're they're personalised with the software, and everything is structured and can be formatted to be logical, and so that it looks like a good site, a really good site. Now the other thing is because it's monthly. You don't just put it up for 1 month or drip feed it for 1 month and then run out of stuff to put up. We're going to give the next month, we give you content in exactly the same niche to add to your blog. So again, these have to be slightly more generic blogs, fairly more industry wide than very niche specific in terms of the entire blog, and then you just make the categories and the pages and the posts specific to to whatever the article or content or whatever it is. So the other thing is that people are looking for information, and information is what we're going to put up there. Nothing's particularly unique anymore. I know that sounds very weird, but basically, pretty much as everything has been written. Even most books are kind of rehashes of the same, same principles and stuff. They're just put in slightly different ways or framed in different ways. Some are short, some are long, some are in depth, some go a little bit of the way, some go all the way, all that kind of stuff. Some are illustrated, some are do it in 30 days. Some are supposed to be aimed at dummies. I mean, the whole kind of market out there. So it tends just to be the way the information is framed, and the fact that audience has never seen it before, and they get it in the kind of chunk-sized pieces that they want to get. And again, that's why this information will work, because you're kind of acting as an editor is the easiest way of explaining it. So you're kind of an editor of a magazine, effectively. You don't actually have to write anything yourself, but what you decide to put in and what you decide to leave out, how you decide to categorize it, how you decide to tag it, how you decide to illustrate it, how you decide to cross-link it, any extra commenting or whatever you put in. These are all things which are very quick to do. That sounds long-winded and complicated, but it's a 2-second move of the mouse to do any of these things. So just the way you put it together, the order you put it together, the date you put it together, you might miss a day, and that's going to mean that the next time you do it, you're going to get the edge for that day, because that day is going to be the day that you get the fresh content thing, because it's new on your blog on that day. So all these things are going to make it unique to you. So the main thing that we want to do as an editor or as a magazine editor is we want to present this stuff in a in a unique way, and the way that as we as I say, we collate this stuff together, group it together, that's what's going to make the difference. And that that's another thing that makes your your blog unique and actually deserve to have a place, to actually get traffic. You deserve it. So the normal answer is to give you a pre-made kind of thing. So if I could give you a backup buddy, blog installer with all the plugins in and the content there all ready to drip feed. But the trouble with that is it'd be exactly the same for everybody. And and there can only be one kind of number one page slot for any particular content, and all the article keywords would be the same and the tags would be the same. And you can see that it wouldn't really work. Now in low competition niches you do tend to get some traffic from that kind of approach, but it's just that it's becoming, the effectiveness of that is becoming so minimal these days. It's really not worth doing that anymore. So that's why we can't give you a ready-made thing. The fact is that the fact that you're actually assembling it, for want of a better word, the dates that you assemble it in, and what you decide to choose as your article title, or which formatting you use to make it bold or headline or whatever, what picture you decide to add. We'll give you a number of pictures, but if which one you choose to go with which article, that's going to make it different to all that. So these are all things that happen naturally when you just do them manually, and you've got all the bits. It doesn't take very long to assemble this. You're just acting as an editor. You're just putting it together into the pool, and and that's it's going to make it unique. It's not going to make it any kind of cookie cutter. There's no footprint, because you're doing what you're doing. It's not automated, it's not scraped. There's no way for it to be identified as whatever. So this is a unique approach to this. I'm not aware of anyone else who's done this. I mean, there's other things like Superspun, and obviously that we've had I've forgotten the name for it now. Anyway, I can't remember. Spinning, sorry, there were. There's been Spinning's been around for ages, and all this stupid language to language translation to to disguise it, and stupid characters put in the middle of the text to make it appear unique. It doesn't fool Google for very long. They know what's going on, and even despite all that, if the structure of the site is tacky, and then it's not going to give it any credence anyway. So the whole point of giving it to you in these components, so that you assemble it, is to avoid all of that. There's no way it can be seen as automated, because basically it isn't. So you can read the sales letter about these bullet points, but basically it's what I've just said there. So as I say, I've gone through this, so that's what you get. I meant to mention the personal rights use, so that's that. So there, here's the way that the value breaks down. If you were to get this done yourself, in a quality source, I know obviously you can outsource anything for a bowl of rice to somewhere, but they're not going to be probably native speakers, English speakers, and they're not probably going to know exactly what needs to happen. So it could cost you over $2,000 for each of these sites every month, and obviously the membership you're paying is going to be way less than that. Even if my figures are way off and you think you can get it for a tenth of the price that I've put there, then it's still going to cost you $217 per month per industry. So there we are. The reason why it works is because the 250 of us maximum have pulled together to make this happen as a kind of cooperative, is the way I like to put it. It spreads the costs, but because of the personalization software, and because of the component video, and because of the rebranding in the product, and because of the renaming of the product, all that kind of stuff, then it actually is unique to you. Now the other reason, I hadn't mentioned before, the reason why we include a product for you to sell is that's always been an issue for a lot of people, being actually to find a product to go with their content, to be able to join the network that lets you sell that product is an issue. eBay is an example of that. They're very picky about who they let in to be an eBay affiliate, and you have to fight hard to stay there. If your EPCs go weird for some reason, like you've had a robot attack or something, they can just kick you out without any notice. So and the quality of a lot of products like ClickBank products can be questionable, and also you're not in control of the conversion of things like this once you send them off site. So the idea of having your own product is that you can be in control of that. We give you a sales page. Obviously you can edit it or make your own or whatever you want. We could do a pre-sales article. Again, you can edit it or make your own, or I wouldn't suggest you don't use it, because it's a good bit of content that will put people in the mood to buy the offer. But you can do it whatever you want. Now this is just one of the monetization sources. There's nothing to stop you adding any of these other things if you can get them or do them, or you want to do them. But the basic point is that we pick a product every month that fits the niche. So the demographic that's coming to read the content, we match that to the product. So we're happy that the a large number of the people will want the product. Okay, so by having your own product, you can put your own name on, and it's got a backlink back to you, back to your site whenever they use it. Sometimes they'll have advertising slots in, so you can put in other adverts or whatever. You could put in affiliate links and things like that. Even if it's just a simple PDF, you can get extra monetization from that in that way. So you can do all of those things. So you can just add as much monetization as you want. We just give you the product as a strong part of your monetization. You should earn way more money from this product, your own resale price product, which is highly targeted to the content, than you would by running AdSense or anything like that. But if you want to run AdSense on some pages or on all of the blog, entirely up to you. But we think you'll earn more money, certainly on the home page, by selling your own product. By being your own product, you can put it in product directories and things like that. Potentially put it in marketplaces where you can get other affiliates to sell it for you, and then you split the commission with them. Because as I say, you can rebrand it and rename it, as you want. So that's basically the main package. Now, I haven't put any training in with the membership, in with content packs. So I'm assuming that how to set up your blog, how to add content to it, how to do SEO optimization, how to do promotion and marketing, how to do social networking, all that kind of stuff. I'm assuming how to do that. Now, if you don't, then once you've joined, you can get the training option, which is a flat fee, one-off fee of $97, and we expect it to take you 7 weeks. Now, some of you might take longer, some of you might do it quicker, but on average, it's probably 7 weeks of learning to get to know what you need to know. If you want more intensive training like that, or you complete that and then you want to go to the group training, then we do a group training thing, which is basically a weekly workshop and webinar. There's replays if you can't attend at the time, and you can send in your questions prior to that. But if you've got any specific problems that you want explaining or whatever, then you can just send them in beforehand, and then we'll cover them in the weekly workshops. So the group training is, again, it's a flat fee. It'll be a 7-week program. It shouldn't need more than 7 weeks of that kind of depth of training. So that's $167 for the whole 7 weeks. One-off flat fee. If you want more personalised one-to-one training, then that's obviously going to be at a one-to-one rate, which is $167 an hour with a minimum of 15 minutes, and you just prepay for as many of those as you want when you want, as you want. But that's I wouldn't expect most people to do that. But if you really want to crack something, or it's going well and you just want to push it the extra edge, then it might be worth you booking 15 minutes to sort that out. Anyway, so that's the training options. As I say, you don't have to have any training if you don't want it. I haven't included it because it's basically content that we're giving you, and you just have to just do what you would normally do with content. Obviously there's training videos on the tools that we give you, so the personalizer, obviously, that we teach you how to do that, that's included. But anything about actually putting it on your blog, or putting a blog up, or optimizing your blog, we don't cover that. There are other places you can get that, or you can subscribe to either of those trainings that I just mentioned. Now, traffic options. I wanted to put traffic in as a standard option because I just thought it'd be a great way. You put up the property and you've got your content all nice, and it's all going great, but you've got no traffic coming to it because SEO, by its nature, takes time to to kick in. So we've given you the traffic efficient points to give you a little bump start on that, but it's only 30, so it's not going to compete with anything wildly competitive. But I didn't put the traffic option in as standard because some people reacted strangely to it, and they were very concerned about what kind of traffic it was and this kind of thing, as though we were going to send them. I don't know what they thought we were going to send them, to be honest. So I thought I'd put it in as an option. So I've got the price wrong, so sorry, it's £25, not 10 there, so I need to change that in a second. Anyway, so basically what you do is you pay $25 per campaign. So a campaign is basically one end point. It's one deep link page. So if it's an offer, you do that. If it's a bit of content you want to promote, or a video you want to promote or something, then that's the destination. So it's one destination per $25. You can book as many of those as you want. If you want double the amount of traffic to that offer, you can just buy two pointing at the same URL. If you want to promote other URLs or other satellite sites or whatever, then you can add those at 25 as well. So what does your $25 get you? So it's a bit hard to narrow down because the traffic, it comes from a mixture of sources. So some of it will be PPC, so that we can monitor it closely and get a good feel of how your pages are being responded to. Some of it will be PPV. So PPV tends to be interstitial traffic. So in other words, people were doing something else and an ad popped up. So it pops up because they were going to a particular site or keyword or something, but basically they weren't really expecting it to be there. So interstitial traffic has big impression counts, but tends not to be necessarily very clicky, although sometimes it can be. It just depends on how good the interstitial thing is and all that kind of stuff. Banner ads, we might well book banner ads on authority sites. One of them might even be yours, which would be funny, wouldn't it? But anyway, we might well book banner ads to feed into the ring. We obviously have our own blog networks, and we're a member of several other blog networks, so we might add it to that. We might book solo ads, which are kind of email list exchanges, where we send them to a link at the end of it. So it could be 101 of those variations of that. And also micro ads is my own CPA network, which is a very strange idea, but basically it's a cooperative of other network owners, and we've all pulled together, and it's kind of held together with this very special algorithm, which I won't bore you with, but it's a very unique way of doing it to make sure that everyone gets the most optimized results, the advertiser and the publisher. So the outcome of that is, the minimum would probably be 10,000 impressions per campaign, and we would, expect you to get a minimum of 200 clicks, or visits, from that. So I just want to reiterate, a couple of things. First thing is you won't get anything until the 25th of January. Okay, that's when the first content pack comes out. In the pre-launch phase, which is up until April, we're only doing one industry, and that industry is going to be health, fitness and beauty topics. So if you've got any properties about that, or you want to set up a property about that, then that's going to suit you. In April, I'm hoping to add wealth and relationships. If you get in early, it's only $39 per month. I hope you can see the value of 25 articles of the resale rights product, which might actually be software. Whatever it is, you're going to be able to rebrand it and add your own links into it, rename it. We give you a sales page, but you can change the sales page to whatever you want, and you keep 100% of the profits. The graphics are just going to make your blog look a lot more interesting and a lot more quality, authority kind of thing. And the video components, obviously you can do loads of things with a video. The main thing would be to use it for promotion, but you could use the longer version of it as actually one of your content pieces. So it just depends how many of the components you stick in. As I say, it won't just be screen captures. They will actually include some some live footage, some camera footage of various things, get attention and make it interesting. It might include some pre-rendered video effects, that kind of stuff. And the main thing in the rendering is that when you render it yourself, you'll add your own URL as a watermark, basically, so that people know where to come for the the next installment, or to read more about whatever it is. We give you the 30 social back scratching points from Traffic Vision, so they can be anything from Google Pluses to Facebook follows and all that kind of stuff. And then there's the long tail keyword research, which you can use in various ways for your promotion or content ideas or tags or whatever, to give you good SEO foothold on what's going on. And then you can obviously take those long tail keywords and use them in the normal kind of Web 2 kind of mass ways that maybe you've been doing before. But because they're long tail, they may actually work for you. But we're giving them to you so that you can get a good feel for what's going on in the niche, and you can make sure that you're covering what's going on, and it may give you other ideas for other opportunities in the same industry, for other sites or for other areas on this site. So there we go. As I say, it's month after month of new content. It's basically daily content as far as your site is concerned. So that's going to make you seem very active, and it's basically original to you. It's certainly personalised, with the software, so that it's unique to you, and then you can format it and add your own pictures and whatever to give it that editorial edge. Obviously, you can add your own content in there, or your own selection of videos or whatever it is you want to do. Your own news stories from your authority site, your own UGC. Obviously, if you're getting any comments or any any kind of interaction from the public, then that's going to all add to to these sites. So that's basically the plan. So I think I've covered everything. So as I say, you won't get in until the 25th of January. It's an early bird pricing because of that, and because we're only running the one industry at the moment. But if you can imagine the amount of logistics involved in getting this to happen, even in one industry. You'll appreciate how much work goes into it, and it's worth way more than $100 even, or 167 is really what I think it's worth. Certainly will be when there's 3. But there we are. So there's a buy button on the page somewhere. The price is going up, so it depends when you see this video and what the price is. But the earlier you get in, the cheaper it will be, and you're locked in at that rate, so long as you remember. When we add the extra 2 industries in April, you won't pay any more at all, or any extra at all, I should say. So yeah, so there we are. It's about being an early adopter and locking in your rate for that as well. But Oodles content, your own product there, which you can brand basically. Keep 100% of the profits from that in. It's, as I say, it's targeted completely to the content, and then everything else. So there we are. Okay, that's it. I'll see you on the inside. See you then. Bye bye.